Hello, welcome to Michelle Sews Again. I'm Michelle. In today's installment of my collabathon for Sew Purple to End ALZ, I am collaborating with the amazing Megan from Megan G Makes up in Canada. If you want to see what we've made, then please stay tuned. So, I mean, you can get further away, but Canada, South Florida, we're pretty far away from each other, but yet we still agreed on what pattern we wanted to make. So if you're not already watching Megan, you need to go and check her out. She is so lovely to watch. She's got a very calming voice, and she's got great attention to detail, and she spent a lot of time making sure that her sewing fits, her garments fit. So I love watching her because I get a lot of tips from her. So please go and check her out if you don't already watch her. But we have agreed to make the Style Arc Basharl jacket. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but here is a line drawing and the stock photo of the Basharl jacket. And you guys know I love Style Arc. I make a lot of their patterns. Their style is very much my style. So when she said that she wanted to make this jacket, I didn't have this pattern yet, but I know I love Style Arc, so I was like, if it's Style Arc, I'm in. The description of this pattern is that it's a slight cocoon shape, open front, shawl, collar, just loose and cozy kind of jacket. The fabrics that you want to use for this are cashmere, merino wool, boiled wool, sweater knits, ponte. I ended up using a, here's a scrap. I ended up using a really fuzzy polar fleece in this beautiful purple. It's so cozy. So yeah. Depending on the size that you make and the fabric width, you're going to need anywhere from 1.65 to 2.2 yards. So for a jacket, I mean, that's not a lot of yardage. Sizing wise for this pattern, it goes from size 4 to size 36. The max measurements are a bust of 67 3/4, a waist of 61, and hips of 70 1/8. So pretty decent size range there. I ended up making the size 24. This is another one that I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it for myself or give it to my sister, but once I finished it and felt how cozy it was, I decided I'm going to keep it. So I made the size 24, which is for a bust of 51.2. I'm between a 50 and a 51. A waist of 44.5. My waist is about 46, and hips of 53.5, and my hips are about 53. So from a size perspective, the waist is smaller than my waist, but I knew it had ease, so I wasn't worried about that. From a construction and instructions point of view, the construction was pretty straightforward. I literally made this 100% on my serger. I did not change out my serger thread, so I do have the rainbow thread in there, which I think is going to look good with all of my purple makes. And I just absolutely love how this came out, how easy it was to put together. I only had one issue that I will need to unpick and figure out at some point. I just don't have time right now. So you make the shawl collar all in one piece. So you have a right side and a left side, and it comes wide. You fold that together, and then you serge those folded edges to the center front of the front panel. Sorry, you do that after you take those two pieces and you connect them together to make one long shawl, and then you fold it together and sew it to the center front on both the front and back. What I didn't realize, because it wasn't clear in the instructions, and I will tell you, Style Arc is making vast improvements on their instructions. They are more in depth than they were in the past. They can still use a little bit of work, but I'm really impressed with how much better they are than they were even just 6 months ago. So the instructions were overall pretty good, except for when it came to installing the shawl collar and where I needed to stop. I stopped at the bottom of the hem, and then I had nowhere to go for hemming it. So what you're actually supposed to do, I think, I need to go back and reread the instructions a little bit better, is the shawl should end before the hem so that you can then hem up to marry up with the seamed edge of the shawl. Because this is polar fleece, the edges don't fray. So for the time being, I can leave it alone and not worry about it. And you can't really tell from afar that there's anything amiss there. So I'm not overly worried about it right now. And the other thing that I would like to do, but I can't figure out how to make work, is the pattern does not call for a buttonhole and a center button. But I just felt like I would want it to keep closed. And so I wanted to put like one big button in the middle of the front shawl. The problem is I can't get through, I had no problem, my serger had no problem getting through all the layers of fabric. So even when I attached the shawl to the center front and it was going through 3 layers of this thick polar fleece, my serger had no problem. But my sewing machine, on the other hand, is having trouble getting through 2 layers of the shawl to make a buttonhole. So I haven't been able to figure that out yet. And so for that reason, I don't have the button and buttonhole. Again, the pattern didn't call for it, but I just thought it would be nice. So I'm going to insert a twirl here of me wearing this. Again, I didn't really style it because I'm thinking that this is going to really kind of be like for work, like when I'm sitting in my desk at work here in the in my home office here, because I do keep the air conditioning cold to offset the heat from outside, and it's really hard to regulate it so that it's like the perfect temperature. It's either too cold in here or it's too hot, and I can't stand being hot, so I'd rather keep it too cold and have some layers on. So I didn't really style this because I don't see this as being worn as an outside jacket. It's more just a layering piece for when I'm sitting at my desk for work. So I just wore it over a black t-shirt and black leggings. But yeah, I love this. I'm pleasantly surprised. When I was going through Style Arc patterns, this is one I've seen and I've kind of passed it by. I didn't dislike it, but it didn't really grab me. And now that I've made it, I love it. And I can see me making another one of these. I can see this being a great gift also for people that live in a colder climate that need like a transitional piece. So, cause it's really easy to make and it's pretty forgiving from a size perspective. So, yeah, it's got these great pockets in there. Where are the pockets? So I love the way that the pockets just they're kind of very similar to the pockets on the, wide strap maxi, where they kind of have that little opening. I'm having a hard time showing that, but yeah, they just kind of edge out from the edge. So it's an inseam pocket, but with a little peak to the pocket lining. So anyway, yeah, I love this jacket. Let me know if you've made this and what you think about it. Please go check out Megan's. I can't wait to see what she made, what kind of fabric she used. I'm really excited because she lives up in Canada. So I don't know if she's making this as a transition piece or something, you know, bulkier for her winters. So I'm excited to see what she's made. Tomorrow is with the fabulous Stephanie from Stephanie Farrell Focus, and we are making her new pattern for her hoodie dress, and I'm so excited about it. So as usual, I am listing all of my ALZ links in the description box. So there's a link to the donation page in memory of my father. There's a link to my intro video in case you don't know what Sew Purple to End to ALZ is all about. You can go and find out. It talks about the prizes and the collaborations and my backstory. And if you're interested in the collaborations, I have all of them listed in the description box, who I'm collaborating with, what our project is, and what date we're uploading. So please go and check all of them out. Wherever you are, I hope the weather's amazing. I hope you're able to get some sewing in, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.